much. That's a privilege to be here, and before going to the less important part of my speech about Metaverse and my journey, I would like to talk how I met Guilherme and how I came here. I came here in Portugal by coincidence, and after several years of working in fine art, traveling around the world, and as a volunteer, working some part with United Nations, and I was very overwhelmed, very excited. So I made, and before I come to a country, normally I read 2-3 days about history of country. And I was reading about Portugal, the first country in Europe, so excited. So I made a slogan, hashtag join me Portugal, with instead of a space underline, join me Portugal. And I was living in a very beautiful place with the open space in front of me. And as an artist, I put this slogan on the top of my room, my door, the entrance door, join me Portugal. Normally at the morning, I go to the early walk. And in our neighborhood, it was a guy, his name was Pedro, a broken musician. And when I was going early morning outside to do yoga, meditation, he was smoking weed. And eventually, we meet each other. Hello, Pedro, hello, Amir. And you imagine at the early morning, you are doing meditation, and the neighborhood is elevated with the smoke of weed. And one day, Pedro came, just passing from my door, and he saw the slogan, join me Portugal. And he looked with anger to me and said, you must join Portugal. Portugal will not join you. And I take the advice. So I started to write to the organizations. Our first meeting through one of my friends was meeting the president of one of the fine art universities in Lisbon. And I said about my initiative. He said, I will tell to my secretary to contact you. And after that, it was almost no news. And I write to the president regarding our meeting, and no news. So I said maybe I have to write to the city hall. By help of a friend, we met director of city hall, and it was a great meeting. And after that meeting, the director of City Hall said, Tiago, please contact Amir. We have to do this, and that. But after, again, nothing happened. So through another friend, which that time was parliament member, we go to the parliament. We had excellent meeting with some of the parliament members, and they said, you must have an exhibition here. And Francisco, you follow, and he was in charge of events. And after, again, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 4 weeks, nothing happened. So I sent a message to Francisco. Francisco, I don't mean to interrupt, but regarding, he said, Parliament was dissolved. You have to wait for the next Parliament speaker to come. One day I was walking without any target in my life in Nova Business School. It was an event, and I met a guy. I said he is perhaps from Spain. So I go and I said, where are you coming from? He said, I am from Lisbon. It was Miguel Moreira. And he said, what are you doing? I said, I am doing an exhibition of art. And he said to me, I will get you in touch with Guilherme, which is sitting here. And I said, okay, perhaps after 2-3 weeks, everything will be forgotten. But in 3-4 days, I met Guilherme, and we had a fantastic meeting. And Guilherme, instead of telling, I will tell to my assistant or to my co-workers to get in touch with you, he was sending me email every 3-4 days with the full of explanation of what you have to do. And in the second meeting, I asked, where are you coming from? He said, I am from Lisbon. I said, your father, mother? He said, also, they are also from Lisbon. And for the first time, I met somebody which is taking control, taking care and responsibility of everything to be done. And if I have this meeting here, or if I have the privilege to speak, I was really impressed by following up and whatever was happening during the event before having this presentation. Guilherme was taking responsibility. And I think that is how I made my journey around the world, to taking responsibility in different countries, which was started, I think, from last 14 years, traveling all around the world with my artworks. And I think in this era of the massive explosion of data, if we will not take responsibility as an artist or as an engineer or as a scientist, behind all of whatever we are doing are artificial intelligence, and we get nowhere because we are surrounded with the machine now, and it's consuming us every day more and more. Coming back to my work, when I was 16 years old, 17 years old, I get to know about art, and I started to do drawing, and in high school, I remember one time I was drawing my teacher without he knows, because I never attended to art school or art university, and he said, instead of punishing me, he said, you must follow painting, graphic, and art. But in about 1984, I saw in the news the news about PC, personal computer, and it attracted me, and I went to the university, to the workshop that time, and after a few classes, again, the teacher said me, you have to follow computer and computer programming. But I decided from that time to follow my inner voice of heart, to go through art and painting. But when I was programming, we are talking about the end of 1980. I was working with IBM, and I saw a human can reach to the level. If you remember that time, we had maximum monitor with the 16 or maximum 256 colors. I saw human can reach to the level to save a high resolution frame, because if you know binary code, you can expand that binary and you can have more colors as we have now today, millions of colors by the codes. And I transferred from early 90, whole of my works in vector-based programs. So whatever you see in these artworks are vector-based generated artworks or data, which mainly started to be created from early 90 till 2003, 2004. And when the works finished, by coincidence, I started to have a promotion of peace for enlightenment by art. And it didn't change anything in the world, but it changed me immensely. The traveling around the world changed me, and I found instead of nations or nationalities, I found human and humanity. And I realized we are all one. We are all the same human being. Coming back to my work, in the beginning, nobody takes serious my works, because when I was speaking, everybody was telling it's so beautiful, but computer was not known to the people. And they said, and after they were losing their interest to the work because they said this is done by computer. And it was very, it was bringing me sadness because, okay, I give you computer, you can make the same. Anyway, by the time when the computer become more used by people, when it goes to the home and office of people, they understood. In 2009, I wrote a manifesto for digital art, and I explained what is the advantage of digital art, which was published in 2013 during one of the exhibitions. What is coming back to NFT and metaverse, and to define it, why majority of things which we are looking today, unfortunately, they are not NFT and they cannot be metaverses. Majority of the pictures you see, they are not made from the scratch digitally. So to explain this, I have to say, for example, you have Mona Lisa picture. If you scan Mona Lisa and you name it NFT, that is not NFT. You have original one, which was 400 or 600 years back, and you have digitalized picture. You can mint it and you say it NFT. What is going to happen in metaverse? And when I was designing my works, I was thinking that the Blue Symphony is a master plan you can use for a master plan for cities. You can use for jewelry, for the carpets, and because everything is done from scratch digitally and based on the vector file, you can create a metaverse by that. If you go today to see, for example, any metaverse environment or lands, is just a piece of, they consider a piece of land, but it has no harmony. It's not done artistically. You have either one square, you can say unlimited square, but if you look at the pattern of those work, it can be a master plan for a city of metaverse. And because they are vector-based, you can do it with unlimited size without losing clarity, without losing resolution, without become pixelized. My plan in future is to create this metaverse with the file which was ready from last 20-25 years, and during my travel I saw the need of educational or empowering children in developing countries. And the gap, unfortunately, as you know, even you can see among your family and your children, majority of children, I can say 99% of children, they have mobile and they have computer, and they are consumed by computer games. The amount of students, they are learning computer programming, digital art, fine art, is coming less and less. And Guilherme is telling me the time is over, so I wanted just to thank you, and I hope in future I have exhibition here and we speak more about my activities. Thank you very much.